गुड इवनिंग और गना शॉट में आप सबको दोबारा स्वागत है। प्रणाम, सत श्री अकाल और वणक्कम। आज हम पाकिस्तान के बारे में बात करेंगे और पाकिस्तान में हम स्पेसिफिकली बात करेंगे द हाइब्रिड डिक्टेटरशिप which Pakistan has slipped into. We were earlier talking of the hybrid rule of Imran Khan. We'll today talk of the hybrid dictatorship of मुनीर जी एंड वेयर इट इज गोइंग। और ये बातचीत करने के लिए मेरे साथ हैं जनरल वीपी सिंह। गुड इवनिंग जनरल वीपी एंड वेलकम टू द शो।
गुड इवनिंग सर।
ओह दैट्स ग्रेट। मैं आप सबको बताना चाहता हूं जो ये शो देख रहे हैं, जनरल वीपी सिंह और हम बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं। हमारा फैमिली का रिलेशनशिप है, बच्चों का रिलेशनशिप है और खास करके हम एक ही स्क्वाड्रन के हैं, एनडीए से, राइट। और he's got tremendous experience, ये बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है। he's commanded a corps, सब कुछ। और पिछले बार भी हमने बात किया था पाकिस्तान के बारे में और दोबारा आए हैं पाकिस्तान के बारे में ही बात करने के लिए, राइट। जैसे हम सबको पता है कि पाकिस्तान में जो हो रहा है वो अजीबोगरीब चाल चलन हो रहा है। उधर एक चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ है, वो अपना मिलिट्री कोर्ट चला रहा है। आज उसने 4-5 जनरलों को सैक कर दिया है, राइट। और इनके जितने लीडर हैं वो दुबई में इकट्ठे हो गए हैं, जैसे माफिया का गैंग होता है इकट्ठा होकर, वो माफियो कैपो डी टूटी टाइप, और वो वहाँ कर रहे हैं। कंगाल देश है, राइट। वो अपना फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर वो एक बजट बना रहा है बिना पैसे के, एक इमेजिनरी बजट बना रहा है। तो बहुत कुछ हो रहा है पाकिस्तान के अंदर। बट बेसिक चीज ये है कि इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है अभी रहा कि एक डिक्टेटरशिप है पाकिस्तान के अंदर, जहां ये शहबाज शरीफ और गैंग इनके फ्रंट फेस है, मुकोटे हैं। इसी चीज के बारे में बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ जनरल वीपी सिंह हैं। जनरल वीपी, over to you, your opening thing, and you can just take off and I'll keep interjecting with questions.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me once again. Now, Pakistan, of course, has been on the focus for a very long time now. In fact, sometimes I feel we are all tired of discussing, talking about Pakistan, which is such a hopeless subject to discuss. But anyway, it is, so with Pakistan, it is always, you love it, you hate it, but you cannot ignore it. So it is in the category of cannot ignore it. That's where it is. Now, as far as what is happening right now, it has a very, I would say, very interesting but short story. The story I dated back to 6th of September 2022, when the previous chief, while addressing the service personnel, he said, and I want to quote him, that in fact he was wondering that Indian Army, according to him, causes so much of human right violations in Kashmir, here, there, and everywhere. According to him, that Indian Army is absolutely rogue army, and yet they are so popular, they are loved by their countrymen. Nobody criticizes them. This is the loud thinking that he was doing while he was talking to his people. That's the army people. And then he said, in contrast, now I'm quoting him, he said, in contrast, our army is often subjected to criticism. A major reason for this is army's interference in politics for the last 70 years, which is unconstitutional. Now imagine a statement like this coming from the chief of the army staff of Pakistan Army. You don't have to go back into the history of this country or this army. You're starting from Ayub Khan to Yahya Khan to Ziaul Haq to Parvez Musharraf. This is just a year back when the gentleman is telling that we have been interfering without any doubts. And then he says, after a great deliberation, and now quoting again, this is why in February last year, that is 2022 or 21, after great deliberation, we decided that in Pakistan Army, will never interfere in political matters, unquote. I assure you, we are strictly adamant on this and will remain so. Now, this is the short history of what Pakistan's army role and the General Saab's role is. So when he said that,
बिफोर एक मिनट इससे पहले कि आप आगे जाओ, तो ये तो आप हिस्ट्री की बात कर रहे हो। 15-20 दिन पहले, इनफैक्ट 1 month back, I did a show with Tahir Gora on
right,
पाकिस्तानी जनरल्स, ठीक है। अब वो शो जो है वो तकरीबन 2 लाख आदमियों ने देख लिया, 2,15,20,000 लोगों ने देख लिया ऑलरेडी। उसके ऊपर 1000 कमेंट्स हैं और ज्यादातर पाकिस्तान से हैं।
correct,
तो आई वुड लाइक टू रीड what they have said.
yes,
He says what just exactly I'm mirroring what you have said. वो
yes,
तो चीफ ने बताया, ये बता। The
yes,
Indian Armed Forces has an exemplary record of remaining absolutely non-political.
yes,
The Indian Army is respected by every citizen because morally it maintains very high standards. The Indian Army generals are honest and defend the nation selflessly. From a soldier up to the level of general, the Indian Army is respected by every citizen. This is the army which, as per Pakistan, not only their army, but everyone in Pakistan feels that we are committing excessive human rights, violations in Kashmir. Okay, right. And then another chap says, I am Pakistani. I agree completely. Our generals are on the dollar payroll. They are not concerned about their respect, their country's respect. They want people to beg. Those who are not begging, they are creating a situation that they also beg. We are so shameful, our army has ruined us. So
yes,
this is what their own people say.
yeah. But yes,
बोलिए।
so now what happened that this is what the people say, and this is what their previous chief had said. So anybody who has got slightest intelligence in his head, he would consider that perhaps the right way is to stay out of politics. And in a matter of 6 months plus, the gentleman who is in charge of Pakistan Army today, he is literally running the country. Literally running the country. Now, initially, if you recall, that he was a little tentative because of his service background and other things. He has consolidated his position and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. He is in full control of his army. He is in full control of affairs of the nation. Now, what is happening in Pakistan as we speak is what you just mentioned, that so many generals and senior officers and other things are being tried by the army courts and other thing, and something which Pakistani army was negating, that there is no division in the army, there is no division in our ranks, we are united, we are one. No, it's not true. If there was no division in the army, if there was no division in their ranks and file, where is the requirement to punish some 15-20 generals and brigadiers and senior officers? Now, this is what
more than 100 officers are on the axe.
Correct. So, 9th May, whatever they may say, watershed or this or that, but one thing is very visible, very clear. In fact, 3 markers I will place. Number 1, Pakistan Army is back in their business, which they have been doing for the last 75 years, that is running the state behind the scene. Number 2, for the first time, there is a very sharp division in the Pakistan rank and file. It will take some time for them to get rid of whatever, or to close this gap. And the third is that corruption, what they have been talking about, the senior officers, somebody, moment Bajwa went out, so many $1 billion and things like that. There is a serious resentment in the lower ranks. I'm talking about the officers and the men, that why are these people, I mean, they are saying that we are honest, we are, a defender of Pakistan and all that, and everybody is making money. So the professionalism of Pakistan Army has taken a serious hit this time. Now, what is happening right now, that taking the excuse of 9th of May, they are out to purge the Pakistan Army, They are out to sort out the Imran Khan and their supporter. They are also out to destroy any resistance, political resistance to the role of Pakistan Army behind the scene. I'm not talking about their conventional or professional role. So this is how Pakistan Army has come back to run the country.
Okay.
So this is as far as the status of Pakistani Army today is concerned. Now, what is their interest in this country? What are they looking at? I have been thinking about this question, and my understanding is that definitely they do not want Pakistan to collapse politically, socially, or economically. This is absolutely given. They don't want it to happen. Because closely connected with this scenario is the threat to their nuclear assets. The second objective or the goal Pakistan Army is absolutely clear about is that under no situation or circumstances their nuclear asset should be put under threat. And the third is,
अगर आप थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात कर सकते हैं तो अच्छा होगा, क्योंकि बहुत लोग हिंदी जानते हैं।
So जो मेरे जो समझ के हिसाब से जो जनरल्स हैं और जो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी एक साथ एक फोर्स की तरह से है, उनके 3 मुद्दे हैं। और मेरी समझ के हिसाब से वो 3 मुद्दे क्या हैं? नंबर 1, वो पाकिस्तान को टूटने नहीं देना चाहते, ना इकोनॉमिकली, ना पॉलिटिकली और ना सोशली। वो पाकिस्तान को खड़ा सीधे रखना चाहते हैं, इसी हालत में, अच्छी हालत में देखना चाहते हैं। ये तो उनकी मतलब कन्विक्शन है, सोच है। दूसरा जो है वो ये नहीं चाहते हैं, क्योंकि इसी के साथ में ये जुड़ा है दूसरा पॉइंट, अगर पाकिस्तान टूटता है या कमजोर होता है और तो जो पाकिस्तान की न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटी है उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन मार्क लग जाता है। वो ये नहीं चाहते इसलिए। और तीसरा जो सबसे बड़ा है, जो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के इनग्रेन्ड इंटरेस्ट हैं पैसे के, उनके जो एसेट्स हैं, जो जिस तरह से वो लैंड एंड सो मेनी बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट हैं, उनको वो देखना चाहते हैं। एज ए आर्मी वो देखना चाहते हैं कि उनके इंटरेस्ट प्रोटेक्टेड रहें। एज ए आर्मी वो देखना चाहते हैं कि उनकी जो पे इमोल्यूमेंट्स और जो उनको बेनिफिट्स मिलते हैं उस पर कोई आंच ना आए। और एज एन आर्मी वो ये देखना चाहते हैं कि आगे आने वाले सालों और महीनों में जो पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप है, किसी तरह से भी इनके इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर कोई हमला या कोई चोट ना पहुंचा सके। ये इनके 3 बड़े क्लियर मुद्दे हैं, जो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के मुद्दे हम कह लेते हैं। इसी का एक सबटेक्स्ट है। सबटेक्स्ट जो है वो ये है कि दे वांट फुल कंट्रोल बट नो अकाउंटेबिलिटी। इन्होंने मतलब जो परवेज मुशर्रफ ने किया था या अयूब खान ने किया था, ये अब इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ना चाहते हैं। परवेज मुशर्रफ ने प्रेसिडेंट बना लिया अपने को, ये कर लिया वो कर लिया, वो सब नहीं करना चाहते। इनका जो तजुर्बा है वो ये है कि वो करने से नुकसान हुआ है, तो ये जो है
निकाले जाते हैं, फिर
ये निकाले जाते हैं फिर, और वो फिर बेचारे या तो दुबई जाके मरते हैं या कहीं मरते हैं, जहां पे भी होता हो। तो वो ये चाहते हैं कि हमारी अकाउंटेबिलिटी 0 हो लेकिन कंट्रोल पूरा हो। तो जिसकी इसी को हम बोलते हैं वो बैक सीट ड्राइविंग। स्टीयरिंग व्हील पे कोई बैठे और ये बैठे पीछे, उसको फुल कंट्रोल में रखे और वो गाड़ी चलाए और गाली खाए और बाहर जाए और अंदर आए, जो करना करे। दूसरा जो इनका जो सबटेक्स्ट है इनकी सोच का, वो ये है कि जो पॉलिटिकल क्लास है पाकिस्तान का, उसको डिवाइड करके रखना है। इनको सबसे बड़ा जो खतरा हुआ है अभी पिछले तकरीबन 1 साल से, जब इमरान खान का पॉपुलैरिटी बढ़ी थी, कि अगर ये इलेक्शन हो जाता है और जो जिस तरह से भी इमरान खान ने अपनी हवा बांधी थी, आज से 4-5 महीने पहले उसकी जो पॉपुलैरिटी थी, उस वक्त अगर इलेक्शन हो गया होता तो कोई ताजुब नहीं होता कि इमरान खान 2/3 मेजॉरिटी से शायद पावर में आ जाता।
Correct.
और अगर ऐसा हो जाता तो न सिर्फ उसके पॉलिटिकल ओपोनेंट्स के लिए, बट कि पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के भी वो क्लिप कर देता विंग बड़े अच्छे से। ये उनको सबसे बड़ा खतरा नजर आया इस बार, और जिसके लिए उन्होंने दोबारा अपने पुराने फॉर्मूला पे चले गए। पुराना फॉर्मूला क्या है? 3 पार्टियां, एक पीपीपी, एक पीएमएलएन और तीसरा जो है वो जमघट, जिसको वो कभी मुस्लिम लीग क्यू, MQM, this that, ये वो religious parties, लद्दाख पाकिस्तान एंड ऑल दैट, वो सारा मिला करके एक वो 25 30 40 सीटों का एक जमघट बना देते हैं ये।
वो
और
इश्तिकाम वो बना रहे ना, इश्तिकाम में पाकिस्तान या कुछ,
हाँ वो एक नई पार्टी आ गई। तो ये जो है बिल्कुल ओल्ड वाइन इन न्यू बॉटल है। So you will have two main parties and one subsidiary party. The purpose of this subsidiary party is, which will come with electables, जिसकी भी साइड में ये डाल देंगे इनको, वो गवर्नमेंट बना लेगा, और जिस दिन उसको वहां से निकालेंगे उसकी गवर्नमेंट गिर जाएगी। ये इनकी जो है डिजाइन है, चाल क्या कह दीजिए, ये मतलब इनकी यही सोच हमेशा से रही है, वही अब दोबारा ये कर रहे हैं।
करेक्ट।
जब वो स्टेबिलिटी की बात करते हैं कि पाकिस्तान शुड बी स्टेबल, इकोनॉमिकली स्ट्रांग, फलाना ठिकाना, तो क्या होता है कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को पावर में आने के बाद में अगर वो अच्छी मेजॉरिटी से आते हैं तो पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप को डिसीजन लेने पड़ते हैं, टफ डिसीजन लेने पड़ते हैं, और शायद ऐसे डिसीजन लेने पड़े जो कि पाकिस्तानी आर्मी को पैलेटेबल ना हो। एक मैं बात कह रहा हूँ, कोई भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, आई एम नॉट नेमिंग, इफ दे कम एंड से दैट देयर इज हाई टाइम वी शुड मेंड आवर narrow our differences with India, let's do business with India, and those, you know, the wise calls.
Yeah.
आज की तारीख में अगर किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने वो कॉल करी, अगले दिन वो पावर से बाहर हो जाएगा। लेकिन अगर वो अपनी ताकत के ऊपर वो इसमें आते हैं और 2/3 मेजॉरिटी और मोर देन 60-70% वाली मेजॉरिटी से, तो शायद वो ऐसा कर दें, तब इनका धंधा पानी बंद हो जाएगा।
करेक्ट।
This is the reason why they want the third bullet जो मैंने बताया, they want to keep that divide and rule of political elite, keep that critical mass with them. जिस भी साइड में ये critical mass डालेंगे वो गवर्नमेंट बनाएगा, कंट्रोल इनका रहेगा। That is their agenda as we speak right now. Now, another thing that I want to mention, I have said it in passing some time back, 9th May. It was a watershed moment. Definitely a watershed moment. Though Pakistan has been through these watershed moments, God knows how many times. 71 में भी watershed था, अभी watershed है, but इसमें क्या हुआ है कि सबसे बड़ा जो उनको नुकसान हुआ 9 मई में, कि पाकिस्तानी आर्मी जिसको अपने आप उन्होंने बिठा रखा था एक पेडिस्टल के ऊपर, वहां से इनको नीचे गिरा दिया गया इस बार। कुछ भी ये करें, जो भी मैंने अभी बोला है अबाउट देयर डिजाइन, पॉलिटिकल दिस थिंग दैट थिंग, बट इनको आइवरी टावर के अंदर से लोगों ने निकाल के सड़क पे ला दिया है इस बार। 9 मई ने कर दिया ये। सो जो ये फियर ऑफ अननोन था कि वी आर, यू नो, होली काउ, टच मी नॉट, आइवरी टावर, ऑल दोस थिंग, व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू से, दिस इज, हाँ, वो इनको एक बड़ा सीरियस 9 मई में झटका लगा था। डिवीजन ऑफ रैंक की मैंने ऑलरेडी बात कर दी थी, उसका आपने जनरल शंकर हैज, यू हैव ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड सर अबाउट दैट पर्जिंग दैट इज गोइंग ऑन। And I also feel that there is a pushback which is still coming from inside, that is from within the Pakistani army, from judiciary, as also from political class. So 9th May के बाद में ये pushback भी इनके ऊपर आना शुरू हुआ है, and they are aware of it.
So yeah, you're right, because क्या है कि वो एक जज ने बोला कि एक full bench बैठना चाहिए before we decide on the military courts and all, आज ही उसने बोला है।
Correct.
Right, so pushback तो है ही। Yes. और ये भी देखा गया है कि there are a lot of people who are staying abroad, क्योंकि staying abroad तो कुछ भी बोल सकता है। वो सोशल मीडिया में they are very active that against the army and for Imran Khan.
Yes.
They are talking for Imran Khan. So अगर वो है, और जिस तरीके से ये कोर्ट मार्शल करा रहे हैं जूनियर ऑफिसर्स का, और पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स को, अभी जो डिटेनीज को वो यू नो आर्मी कोर्ट से ट्राई करने के चक्कर में है, ये इससे बड़ा क्लियर है कि things are not comfortable with them. There is a lot of sentiment against them.
So the big question mark now is, what kind of pushback are they expecting from judiciary? This is very significant at this point in time, because if we see right now what is happening is the political powwow is going on behind the scene. Right now, what is visible and which is very, very clearly seen by everyone is that pushback which may come from I'm using the word may, from judiciary, when they are trying to try all these civilians and everybody from military courts.
Okay.
But little bit of watering down, I have noticed they've already done that, in the sense they are also amenable कि इन्होंने हजारों लोग पकड़ के रखे हुए हैं अब हजार लोगों को 2,000 लोगों को कहाँ ये ट्राई करते घूमेंगे इतना, और उनको कहाँ कितनी जेलों में भरेंगे। तो उन्होंने ये भी बोला हुआ है कि भाई कुछ लोगों को माफीनामा दे देंगे, कुछ अपना माफीनामा, वो पॉलिटिकल माफीनामा तो शुरू ही हो गया है। एवरीबडी यूज्ड टू लीव तहरीक इंसाफ, होल्ड अ प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस एंड डिसएसोशिएट हिमसेल्फ।
बस
तो वो प्रोसेस इज ऑलरेडी अंडर वे।
राइट।
बाकी ये भी चलेगा, माफीनामा, माफी फॉर द माइनर ऑफेंसेस एंड ऑल दैट। I think what they are going to do, where perhaps they may strike a deal with judiciary, is कि Imran Khan and his supporters, the hardened supporter, उसको eliminate करेंगे completely, so that Imran Khan is no more a threat, neither to Pakistan Army nor to other two parties. And for in that, the other two parties are also nicely standing behind the Pakistan Army कि हाँ इसको sort out कर दो,
इसको सॉर्ट आउट कर दो तो हमारा भला हो जाएगा।
करेक्ट, ये
इनकी प्लान है। ओके, आज जो डेवलपमेंट हुआ, ये सब जा रहे हैं, ये माफिया लोग, पाकिस्तान पॉलिटिकल माफिया जो है ना, पूरा दुबई में इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं, और नवाज शरीफ वापस आने वाला है, और ये उनको भी पता है कि ये पाकिस्तान आर्मी ये गेम खेल रहा है कि डिवाइड एंड रूल, और 3 पार्टी बना लो, एक उसमें से एक वीक पार्टी खड़ा कर दो, वो किस तरह झुके वो पावर में आ जाएगा, राइट? सो वो झुका देंगे और उसको पावर में खड़ा करेंगे। सो how do you see this going, that political aspect? Do you think that Nawaz Sharif will come back as a prime minister, or do you think the Pakistani army will get this Bilawal Bhutto as a prime minister, out of the box solution?
Okay, right? So
and you know that bit, how do you see it going?
Okay, so there I would put it under the bucket. Let me say it like, say, what are the options for General Munir? उनके पास क्या option है अभी, how to take Pakistan wherever he wants to take from here. I feel
एक मिनट ना, पाकिस्तान को फॉरवर्ड तो कहीं ले जा नहीं जा सकता, वो रिवर्स गेट पे चल रहा है।
Yes. So my understanding is he has got 4 options. I mean, there may be many more, but these are the 4 major options. One is that they allow the current government, जो शहबाज शरीफ की गवर्नमेंट है, इसी को और आगे चलने दें। Now सितंबर में इसका constitutionally इनका टर्म खत्म हो जाता है।
Correct.
However, Pakistan has got a very interesting judiciary, which also works on a doctrine which is only there in Pakistan. It's called doctrine of necessity. It was invented by, I think, Justice Munir, if I remember the name correctly, moment Pakistan came into being. And he was the first one who allowed Field Marshal Ayub Khan
to rule,
take the political power under the doctrine of necessity. Now, doctrine of necessity.
नहीं, वो मुनीर, इस मुनीर को हेल्प कर रहा आज।
So, अगर वो नाम सही मेरे को याद आया है तो वही थे। तो उनका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो ये है, और ये डॉक्ट्रिन बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है। वो ये कहती है कि what is being done is illegal and unconstitutional. However, there is a necessity in the interest, in the larger interest of the nation, to allow this illegal thing to continue. This is the doctrine of necessity.
So that becomes
and legal. Therefore, yes. So therefore, the first option will be allow this government to continue for some more time, and that some more time will be decided by, of course, another Munir. So they say, okay, give them some kind of a constitutional cover, let them carry on for another 6 months or so. Let the dust on the political uncertainty settle down in Pakistan, nice and proper. Imran Khan is completely out of radar. Then we will see what to do. That is one option. The second option they say is, okay, get Imran Khan disqualified first, take him out of this game, and now hold free and fair election within inverted commas. When they hold these free and fair elections, I've already mentioned about the third front. जो इन्होंने ये third वो create किया हुआ है, they make sure that the free and fair elections are only for PMLN and PPP. ये जो इनका तीसरा जो गुटका है, ये वो इलेक्ट करवा करके एक जगह बिठा देंगे.
वो गुटका है, वो कहीं भी लटका दो उसको,
बस
कहीं भी फिट
करो. So what happens is, in the visibility will be that elections were good, Pakistani army or anybody did not interfere, and actually let PPP and PMLN slug it out in open and get as many seats as they want.
Correct.
But the fairness will end moment they realize that one particular party, even between these two, is going to get overwhelming majority. Moment that situation emerges, the fairness will disappear.
Correct.
Then they have to come back to the same those two parties plus Gutka. Uske saath hi kaam chalega. So that is the free and fair option. The third option, which is actually now emerging, is that resettle or reinstate the old political guard. So what they have realized that Pakistan, they are going through a lot of bickering and all kind of things are happening at the next generation leadership. I'm talking about the Maryam Nawaz leadership, Hamza Nawaz, Bilawal Bhutto, second generation leadership. इनके बीच में अभी stress बहुत ज़्यादा चल रहा है because there is no established leader out of that. So one more option
नहीं है.
So one more option what Pakistani army has, which is happening right now as we are speaking, get Nawaz Sharif back.
वही उन्होंने clear कर दिया his route back.
Get Nawaz Sharif back, and now what will happen? The contest will be between Zardari Saab, old guard this side, Nawaz Sharif on that side, under that, and let the election or whatever is there, that Gutka thing still remains. The only thing changes is instead of the second generation leadership, it is the previous generation leadership which comes to power.
Okay.
And the last option or one more option that is available to them is they are not happy with any of these options, that establish or install a technocrat government. So they get all these qualified people, some finance wizard, some administrative member, some policy maker, all those things, find out a prime minister and all the ministers, get them a judicial cover after September, move this government out, install a technocrat government, and obviously they are not elected, so they are only looking at the professional side of the running of the country. They are also not going to be elected next election, so they will be very happy taking tough decisions. And the Pakistani army tells them, you have 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, whatever you want, put the country back on rail.
Okay.
Since they have no political stakes involved, the expectation would be that these guys are going to do a good job of putting Pakistan back on rail. Meanwhile, advantage of this will be that ये जो political leadership है, those who are electables and non-electables and all that, उनको ही अगर 1-1.5 साल के लिए ठंडे बस्ते में डाल देंगे, some of them will lose lot of their sheen and glow. And therefore, after a lapse of 18 months or 20 months or whatever it is, the new Pakistani leadership, political leadership which will emerge, will perhaps have a better understanding of the nation than this elitist political class, which is corrupt and whatever else is there. That is another option that they have.
All right.
And I mean, only General Munir or Pakistan knows which option they will follow. But as I understand, perhaps these are the things that they are looking ahead to achieve their number one goal. They don't want Pakistan to break up.
Right. Now, so let us look at it कुछ अलग एक और तरीके से देखते हैं. Which do you think is most beneficial to the Pakistan army? Because इनका history ये रहा है कि they only do what is beneficial to the army first.
So to be very honest, all these options that I mentioned are actually good for Pakistan army, except for number 2 option when we were talking about free and fair election. उसमें इनका जो डर है वो सिर्फ ये है कि अगर वो इलेक्शन सचमुच फ्री हो गए और किसी एक पार्टी को अच्छी मेजॉरिटी मिल गई, तब इनकी दुकान बंद हो जाएगी.
ओके.
और वहां पे अगर इनको स्टेप इन करना पड़ा लास्ट मिनट पे, एज आई सेड ना कि दे फेयरनेस में स्टॉप एट वन पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, तो व्हाट मे हैपन बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्टिविज्म ऑफ सोशल मीडिया एंड अदर थिंग, दे मे अगेन गेट अ बैड नेम if they have to step in.
Okay.
So other than that, any of these options, वो जो question
इनके 4
option 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so all of the above are good for them.
All of the above are good for them.
Good for them.
ये बात आपकी क्लियर है. आपके बातों से ये निकल के आ रहा है कि army will control Pakistan in times to come.
Without doubt. There is just no doubt about it.
There is no doubt. तो
Yes.
बिल्कुल ये हाइब्रिड डिक्टेटरशिप चलता रहेगा.
Yes, with I would say, let me qualify that statement. They have also learned over a period of time. They have learned. I'm sure they must be having the case studies like we used to have in staff college and all that. I'm sure in Pakistan NDC they must be having a case study of Ayub Khan's tenure, Ziaul Huq's tenure, Yahya Khan's tenure, Pervez Musharraf's tenure. So all these military leadership which is coming up slowly and gradually from there, they have also become little wise. So what they have, I think, learned from the past is that make sure that you have a shoulder to fire your gun from. Never fire the gun from your own
shoulder.
And never. Because that is never going to get you anything.
So इसका मतलब
हाँ, हाइब्रिड में क्या होता है, उसमें एक रिफाइनमेंट और भी है. सॉरी फॉर सेइंग दिस.
बोलिए
कि ये जो इमरान खान वाला इनका एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ था फॉर हाइब्रिड लीडरशिप, उसमें इनको बहुत बैड नेम मिला. बिकॉज आई मीन इट इज नोन एवरीवेयर that you have brought them, you have brought Imran Khan. Now this is the second thing that they have learned, that no matter who we bring, let nobody say that you brought him.
Yeah.
So the process
karo apna fine.
So the process will be so well refined कि वो आएगा बनता ही मर्जी से, लेकिन इनके ऊपर कोई आंच नहीं आएगी कि तुम लाए उसको, हम नहीं लाए भाई, तुमने इलेक्ट किया इसको.
तो इनका कोशिश ये होगा.
नहीं, ये इनकी देखो, एक चीज तो वी हैव टू ग्रांट पाकिस्तान आर्मी कि ये कोशिश जब ये करते हैं, यस, कई बार ये कोशिश करते हैं और उसका वो फॉल बैक इन्हीं के ऊपर होता है. इमरान खान को जब लाया तो गाली इन्हीं को पड़ी, और जब वो निकाला उसको तब भी गाली इनको पड़ी.
और अभी भी गाली उन्हीं को पड़
रही है. So I hope there is a wise leadership in Pakistan, and with the case studies that they have gone through in NDC, they will be able to do a better job next time when they install a political government.
राइट. आपने इतना तो बोल दिया, 4 ऑप्शन बता दिया. मैं अपना राय दे सकता हूँ. तो मेरा राय ये है कि ये कोई भी ऑप्शन ले तो नतीजा तो वही होगा, बैकसीट ड्राइविंग.
हाँ, बिल्कुल, वो तो है ही है, उसमें कोई शक नहीं. यस,
अगर इसको देखें हम,
तभी मैंने आपका पहले जो पिछला सवाल था उसका मैंने जवाब दिया था कि which out of them is better for them. I said all of the above. ये ऑप्शन जनरेट ही इस वजह से कर रहे हैं कि बैक सीट ड्राइविंग कंट्रोल इनके ऊपर रहे पूरा.
राइट. So if this is going to be there, I want to examine 2 things. You know what we need to do. One, the first question is, will Pakistan recover economically? क्या उसका अर्थव्यवस्था सुधरेगा और पाकिस्तान वापस उभर के आएगा? फर्स्ट. दूसरा कि अगर खैर इस माहौल में इनका रवैया इंडिया के साथ क्या होगा और हमें इसके साथ कैसे निपटना है.
ओके. So as far as
economic, पहले हम we can take the economics part because क्योंकि वो जूझ रहे हैं IMF ये वगैरह, इकोनॉमिक्स के बारे में बात करेंगे. उससे हमें क्लियर होगा कि इनका रवैया क्या हमारे साथ होगा.
Okay. So my understanding is that where Pakistan is today economically, studying the economic ship of Pakistan is more than it's a great news for Pakistan's economy. Nobody is looking at 6%, 8%, 10% growth and they'll be a 10th largest and 9th largest economy. सवाल ही नहीं है.
वो सवाल ही नहीं है. वो अगर 1% ग्रोथ भी हो गया तो बहुत है अभी.
बिल्कुल.
देखिए आज के तारीख में someone will get a Nobel Prize for economics if IMF gives them a loan. अगर IMF ने इनको लोन 1 बिलियन का दे दिया तो ये नोबेल प्राइज के लिए मांगेंगे कि भाई हमें नोबेल प्राइज दे दो, हमने सॉल्व कर दिया. तो वो हालत इनका फटी हुई हालत है.
हाँ.
पर आगे जाके क्या,
तो इनकी इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी का जो मापदंड कह लीजिए या मेजर है वो ये है कि इफ दे कैन विद कांस्टेंट वर्किंग विद द इकोनॉमी, if they can bring down the prices say by 10-15%, if they can keep servicing their debts and don't go into a default, if they can provide the basic, I'm talking about जो आटे के लिए जिसके लिए लोग मर रहे थे रोड पे, आटा, घी, चावल, चीनी, ये basic amenities if they can provide to their people for the next 3 or 4 years, they would have done a great job.
Right.
Now, as far as
So,
IMF का loan का सवाल है, to be honest, last time also when the IMF had released their trans, they have done everything what IMF wanted them to do. इतनी बुरी हालत थी लोगों की, डॉलर कहाँ जा रहा, सब कुछ था, and they raised the petrol prices to God knows how many percent. Inflation has gone to 30%, 35%, 38%, and things like that. So there is no issue as far as following the directions of the IMF is concerned. And any of those options that we have discussed, whether it is technocrat government, this government, or new elected government, they have no option but to follow IMF's diktats.
Right.
Which they will do without any question.
और कोई चारा नहीं है इनके पास.
और कोई चारा भी नहीं है, and they will do it happily. And let's be little, give them also their due, following IMF's diktat and studying the economic ship of Pakistan, not letting it go into a default, make some correction as far as those macroeconomic indicators are concerned. It's a great achievement for Pakistan and Pakistan's economy.
तो राइट, सो अगर ये स्टेबलाइज कर सकते हैं, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि ग्रो कर सकते हैं, स्टेबलाइज कर सकते हैं इस इकोनॉमी को जिस तरीके से भी, इट विल बी अ ग्रेट अचीवमेंट. पर मेरा राय ये है कि इनका पानी का किल्लत है, क्योंकि दे आर नाउ ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ बिकमिंग एन एब्सोल्युटली वाटर स्कैर्स नेशन. इनका एग्रीकल्चर इज बैडली हिट, क्योंकि एंड एग्रीकल्चर इनका जो ना 20% ऑफ देयर इकोनॉमी इज एग्रीकल्चर. ओके, आबादी बढ़ रहा है, इसमें कोई कंट्रोल नहीं है. राइट. इनका एक्सपोर्ट सब टप हो गए और इनका इंपोर्ट ही बढ़ रहा है और इंपोर्ट भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. आज के दिन वो ये हालत है कि इंपोर्ट भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो देयर इकोनॉमिकली, वाइल आप बोल रहे हो कि स्टेबलाइज कर लिया तो बहुत है, मैं वो स्टेबिलिटी भी नहीं देख रहा हूं. आई डोंट सी द स्टेबिलिटी. हमने पिछले 3 साल से स्टेबिलिटी नहीं देखा, आगे भी मैं नहीं देख रहा हूँ. ये इट इज नॉट ओनली अ मैटर कि स्टेबिलिटी इज नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ देयर पानी, बिजली, सड़क, सब कुछ तो टप है, पर इनका कोई बंदा लीडर भी नहीं है जो इकोनॉमिकली स्टेबल कर सकता है. इसके ऊपर आप बताइए.
You see, one of the parameters about the stability I had mentioned that if they don't allow Pakistan to go into a default, and somehow I may be wrong, I may be totally wrong, but my sense is that Pakistan will not be allowed to go in a default.
Correct. इसका मतलब चाइना, यूएसए, सऊदी, ये सब आके किसी ना किसी तरीके से इसको बचा लेंगे.
Right. And therefore, one of the indicator of Pakistan's steady economy, I said, is the not letting Pakistan go into a default.
Default. Okay. ये भी बात आपका बिल्कुल सही है.
और अगर ये डिफॉल्ट में नहीं जाएंगे तो आज या से 3 महीने बाद या 6 महीने बाद, sometime in future, they will get some kind of relief recovery from IMF. From IMF, they will get.
तो ये मतलब ये they have to deal with one big nation or the other to get the recovery. And यहाँ तक मैं ये भी देख रहा हूँ कि चाइना ने जो डील दे दिया, इनको दे दिया. चाइना की बस की बात नहीं आगे डील देने के लिए इनका. चाइना अभी अगर आप देखेंगे तो चाइना हैज ओनली गिवन देम रिलीफ ऑफ लोन्स एंड दे आर रोलिंग ओवर डेट. पर रिलीफ इनको वेस्ट से ही मिलना है या सऊदी अरेबिया से ही मिलना है टू राइट देयर इकोनॉमी. अगर वो नहीं हुआ तो ये लुढ़क जाएंगे. आपका राय बताइए इसके ऊपर.
So you are right. I mean, I will not second guess कि इनको पैसे कहाँ से. Obviously, America is not going to give them money right now, but there are other I would say component of I would say states which are looking at Pakistan differently, which is there are Western European countries which are seeing that Pakistan also is a victim of disaster, that environmental problems and things like that. You mentioned something about the water scarcity, flooding.
I agree with you, but खैर वो यूक्रेन वॉर कहाँ तक इसके ऊपर असर पड़ेगा इनको रिलीफ देना.
So what happens is this debate can actually go into many directions, but just to remain confined
within
to
Pakistan,
yes, within Pakistan, my sense is that they will not be allowed to go in a default mode.
To default.
And
they
they
might
will
not recover also, no, in a hurry.
I mean, recovery का तो यही मैंने बताया कि अगर उनका वो
स्टेबलाइज हो गया तो
हाँ, अगर उन्होंने अपना डेट सर्विस कर दिया बहुत है. तो the recovery is this. I am not saying recovery is that they are
नहीं वो just stabilizing
बस वो हो जाएगा,
right?
वो हो जाएगी मैनेज.
वो stabilizing जिससे वो the nation doesn't sink into anarchy.
Yes,
that's what we are looking at.
Absolutely.
So that means economically and politically जो दृश्य निकल आ रहा है इस एनालिसिस से कि पाकिस्तान will have a government which is backseat driven by the armed forces without doubt.
Correct.
The army will not let the nation go down, और वो उसका you can see the shoots of that coming.
Yes.
And it will not be allowed to go into default, right? Because there are too many interests involved, plus the fact that it's a nuclear nation and people are worried about it.
Correct.
Right? But it cannot recover also. So it can stabilize into some kind of, वही वो अजित वाली बात है, ऑक्सीजन मरने नहीं देगा और पानी उसको जीने नहीं देगा, or something like that, right?
हाँ. और दूसरा, I mean, there are big games which are being played behind the scene. अब आप देखिए, आज से 3 महीने पहले जब ये ड्रामा जब से शुरू हुआ, ये इनका TTP was almost being posed as a threat which is lurking on the outskirts of Islamabad and things, and they were remembering from history. Now suddenly you find TTP, nobody talks about it. अगर आप 1-2 महीने के या 1.5 महीने पहले की ब्रॉडकास्ट और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया आप देख लीजिए, so much of killing was taking place in the remote areas of Pakistan. TTP.
वो आजकल कम हो गया.
हाँ, so क्या हो गया? I mean, you mean say Pakistan army has sorted out TTP? No. They are वो वहाँ पे strategic thought जो है वो ये है कि ये अपने आप ही मरे जा रहे हैं, तो हमने क्या करना? करने दो इनको. So what is happening? There are evil forces lurking behind the scene, internally, externally, which can provoke problems, which can trigger problem for Pakistan. But they also mark their time. They also select their time.
नहीं, उनको तो पैसा चाहिए.
बस.
Look, अब TTP का गेम बड़ा क्लियर है. They are into drugs. They want their drug pipeline to keep going. और पैसा बना, उनको इंडिपेंडेंस चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए उनको.
Correct.
Right. Now, in this kind of a scenario, what kind of a threat will Pakistan pose to us? And what should be our हमारा क्या रवैया होना चाहिए पाकिस्तान के against?
Our रवैया should be just let them be. There is enough. छोड़ दो. उनको मतलब there are so many issues, because we should not actually give them any sort of excuse कि actually there is a threat, so much threat is coming from India.
Correct.
There is nothing. I mean, we are not. जैसे अमेरिका ने बोल दिया, you are out of our radar screen. It's high time we should also tell
Put
them,
it out of the radar screen,
that please stay away and do whatever you want to do. We have nothing to do. We have no problem for, as far as we are concerned. You are no issues with us. Just leave them. Just leave them alone. At the same time, we cannot ignore the possibility that a bad neighbor or a troubled neighbor or a hot spot in your neighborhood is not a cause of concern to us. So we must keep our powder dry. We must keep our rails up. We must keep our this progress of India's economic progress and whatever else is happening, India's story. Let us continue with India's story.
With it.
And just leave that.
Leave that. Right.
Because इनके साथ ये होगा कि the day things actually start sinking down, and you never know when that can happen, then we are the next available option available to हाँ भाई India. So just
India. Yeah. मतलब इनको मौका नहीं देना चाहिए कि as with the anti-India sentiment should not bring the nation together.
Actually, we should not be thinking about them. Other than what I said, कि we should have our measures in place, but forget about it.
But इसके बावजूद इनसे तो threat तो होगा ही ना कुछ. वो आजकल सुन रहे हैं कि terrorist threat होगा. Some other threats, they'll fish in troubled waters. इनका तो आदत है.
हाँ, so
what that threat, what do you think you expect
I think
within the confines of what we're going to see? And I
so.
expect they grow for at least a couple of years. This will be the scenario which we have to contend with.
So I have heard this term from the media only. I mean, social media only, that forever war. Like India should be prepared for a forever war.
Forever war.
Now, this low intensity conflict or terrorism, what we say, even if, say, in the Prime Minister's visit into USA, there was a paragraph in the joint statement, cross-border terrorism. Now,
Right.
these things have very significant, I would say, there is a significant significance of this insertion.
Yeah.
But having said that, at the ground level, we must be prepared for this endless war. There is no
No let up.
running away from them.
Okay.
And of course,
Right.
we know, I mean, it's a separate debate. There are many, many ways to fight this war.
नहीं,
One
वो
of
ठीक
the
है.
major way is, once your own house is strong, positive looking, growth oriented, then people have no time for all these things.
All these things. Yeah.
So that is the
we
way.
have to. इसका मतलब ये है कि हमें कुछ हद तक हमारा खुद का अंदरूनी हिसाब किताब ठीक होना चाहिए, हमारा ग्रोथ स्टोरी अनफोल्ड होना चाहिए, and continue on the growth path and ignore Pakistan on these issues. At the same time, हमें सतर्क होना चाहिए कि पाकिस्तान जो भी हमारे ऊपर फेंकेगा उसको वापस दे दो. और ये कन्वेंशनल वॉर होने से रहा, और राइट एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 years तक होराइजन तो हम देख ही सकते हैं. और ये जो JNK में जो भी हो रहा है आजकल, उसका कुछ वेरिएशंस आएंगे, and I think we have to war game out this variation so that we don't get caught flat-footed.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, as I said, this is a subject in itself.
Yeah, that's okay.
Pakistan, but that broad principles are very true. That let India's story move unhindered. Be prepared for an endless war with Pakistan as far as terrorism is concerned. Keep them under pressure, and finally, just make sure that whenever they do these mischievous things, there is a response, and response is effective. In fact, if you have just gone through the inventory of what we are going to get, those Predator drones and other things, perhaps the response will be a little more severe. Should there be a problem next time from Pakistan?
Next time, right. So, okay. Last question, which I'll just take. We have spoken of this two-front war business offer, right? That India faces a two-front war, and we say 2.5 front, all that. Okay. Do you think we have to start rethinking this in the view of what Pakistan is going through? Or do you have to think of it differently?
So, when you say two-front war, let's see it differently only. आपने से बोला ना, let's see differently.
Differently.
So let me tell you how I see it differently. Is China your friend? Answer is no. Is Pakistan your friend? Answer is no. Is terrorism from Pakistan going to stop? Answer is no. So these were the three fronts. If the answer of all three questions is no, that means the concept of 2.5 front war is not going anywhere.
Will remain. Yeah, I agree.
However, I am not prepared to double guess, okay, 5 years from now, China is going to attack, then Pakistan will attack, or 3 years down the line, China. So none of those things I am talking about right now. But as a concept, these two states are not friendly to India, and the instrument one of them is using is inimical to India's progress, and therefore we should be prepared to deal with them in that shape.
In that shape, yeah, I agree with you completely. The concept of 2.5 front war
remains. Remains. Yes.
But the level, the modality, and जिस आकार में ये 2.5 फ्रंट हमारे ऊपर आएगा और कब किस तरीके से आएगा, ये देखने वाली बात है. ये जो है वो अगर पाकिस्तान का जो इकोनॉमिक हालत सुधर गया तो वो ये जो 2.5 फ्रंट थोड़ा स्ट्रांग हो जाएगा, नहीं तो ये 2.5 फ्रंट थोड़ा डिलाई हो जाएगा. जैसे अब ढीला रहेगा, क्योंकि लेट्स फेस फैक्ट्स, आज के दिन ये 2.5 फ्रंट में ना, वो एक फ्रंट तो डाउन है इनका, राइट? थ्रेट है, बट दैट थ्रेट इज अ वीक थ्रेट टुडे, राइट? इट्स इनकेपेबल थ्रेट। इनफैक्ट अगर वो ये ऐसे कुछ लड़ाई शुरू करेंगे तो खुद टूट पड़ेंगे। आई मीन दैट्स वेयर दे आर। बट अगर स्टेबलाइज जैसे होता जाएगा पाकिस्तान, तो ये 2.5 फ्रंट भी स्ट्रॉन्गर होता जाएगा, एंड वी शुड बी रेडी फॉर दैट,
Well,
राइट?
there is yet another very slim possibility, though possibility, कि a strong Pakistan, say economically strong and stable Pakistan, at the political leadership, including the military leadership behind that, if we assume that they have learned their hard lessons from history, take a call. Okay, enough is enough.
And become friends with India.
Correct. So on their own, if they
वो
decide, so on their own, if they decide to eliminate that 1.5 front, then it's a different scenario.
नहीं,
But
वह
can it
देखिए,
happen?
नहीं,
I mean, anybody's guess.
देखिए, नहीं, इट्स नॉट एनीबॉडीज गेस। आप देखिए, हम इनके ना 2 एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि क्या ये इंडिया के साथ, यू नो, इफ दे कैन बाय पीस और barter peace or live in peace. Pervez Musharraf tried something of a formula, right? 2004, if you remember.
Yes.
अगर वो formula हो जाता, they would have bought peace. All said and done. At least that is the hope.
But is it the same Pervez Musharraf who also...
The internal forces of Pakistan did not allow that plan to go through. ठीक, that was the army plan. उसके बाद नवाज शरीफ ट्राइड अगेन कि भाई सुलह कर लो. He also bought the dust. उसको तो निकाल ही दिया. जावेद कमर बाजवा also tried some way. वो he's also gone out in disgrace almost. तो अगर आप देखेंगे तो जब भी कोई भी शख्स पाकिस्तान के अंदर ट्राई किया कि इंडिया के साथ, you know, repair relations and look east towards India to get their own house in order and improve their economic relations, it has come to naught. So my view is that that option is virtually ruled out. You know what we say, and this is a thing which a lot of people in Pakistan also say. Our solace and our recovery, it lies in India. But historically they have not been able to do it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Right. That is where it is. So I think we've spent a lot of time. Can we take some questions? Right? We'll take some questions. Okay. We'll start at the top. There are a lot of questions, and a lot of this thing. We'll take whatever. Okay. There's an interesting question. Do you think breaking Pakistan is the permanent solution for erasing North Indian drug and terrorism problem? If you think so, why India don't fund anti-Pak elements sitting inside Pakistan like Baluch Liberation Army, etc.? If you don't think that breaking Pakistan is permanent solution for India, what is the remaining portion? What is the permanent solution to overcome terrorism and drug problem in western border states in India? So he has linked the drug problem with breaking Pakistan or not breaking Pakistan. Your views?
No, I don't think this breaking Pakistan is going to solve any problem. So it is like this, that right now there are 4 bad patches, but they are together. And then you break them, so there are still 4 bad patches, but they are separate. So now when the drug is coming from place A and B, passing through C, but they are all, A, B, C are part of the same entity, but then what will happen? A will continue to produce drug, B will continue to produce drug, arrangement with the C, and let the drugs go. So it's not breaking up Pakistan. I don't think it's a solution. And it is let me say, qualify this. In breakup of Pakistan may be an internal issue.
Yeah.
That they break Pakistan not because we want Pakistan to break, but internally they cannot manage those internal issues and the Pakistan breaks. The Balochis, they don't want to live with, say, Pakistan. or Gilgitis and Balistanis, they don't want to live with Pakistan. KPK doesn't want to live with Pakistan. If that happens, we don't have to do anything. They will, if they break, well, then we are going to deal with a different set of nations.
Yes.
But will India be interested? My answer is no. Is India capable of doing that? My answer is, if we are not interested, why should even we build capability to do that?
But and not only that,
the question is, internally, if Pakistan breaks because people don't want to live with them, like what happened in Bangladesh, so be it.
So be it. Yeah. Then not only that, if India tries to break Pakistan, Pakistan will not break for the simple reason it is not a hidden agenda which will be there.
Correct. Pakistan it's not our agenda. It's not our agenda.
And the moment you have such an agenda of breaking Pakistan, Pakistan will come together. और वो इकट्ठा हो जाएंगे और ये ब्रेक नहीं होगा. ठीक है ना? Okay. Right. Next question is, General, shouldn't India strategically focus on strengthening limited warfare capabilities and covert operations concerning Pakistan to reduce the chances of a full-scale conflict?
So, see what happens is, when we are fighting war is not just fought because we have got so many tanks, so we have to run the tanks somewhere. War is fought with some purpose, some aim, some goal. Right now, if we want to fight with Pakistan, what should be our goal? What is our goal? Why do we want to fight with Pakistan? For that matter, why does Pakistan want to fight with us? They want to liberate Kashmir. Is that the goal? So, as far as this small-scale war or big-scale war or full-scale war and all is concerned, these are all, I would say, modalities. But the first and foremost thing is, why do we want to fight a war with Pakistan today? If we are not getting a clear answer, other things become redundant then.
Yeah, okay. This is an interesting question. So why can't Pakistani people oppose their army like the way Turkish people did to save democracy? What is the difference between Pakistani and Turkish army?
Huge difference. Huge difference. I would say the cultural upbringing of Turkish army vis-a-vis Pakistani army, which is, they still call themselves British army, लगते वैसे सारे जनरल जो हैं उनके घर वर जो हैं वो सारे लंदन में और कहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं. Their number one student goes to Britain or USA for this thing. So those kind of things, when they are there, culturally you are very different. Your brought up is very different. Turkish army, I'm no expert on Turkish army, but my understanding is it is a very different cultural entity. So honestly speaking, I don't find anything common. And why don't people come out and resist Pakistani army? You just saw that on 9th of May. People came out. So neither people had that, that concept of cause for which they came out. They didn't come out to remove Pakistan army or this or that. They came for some misplaced belief that there is a Messiah called Imran Khan and therefore they are going to fight for it. They never fought for it also. So there is a problem with that population also. When Imran Khan gave a call on the doorstep of Islamabad चलो, फिर Islamabad के बाहर से वापस आ गया. यहाँ पे कि आ जाओ, we have to come out. They came out, वो मोर शोर लेके भाग गए, काम खत्म हो गया. So I don't think it is there in their DNA to cause revolution. That happens only in a country like Iran and all that. Even now, even for this hijab thing in Iran, I think in excess of 600 people have lost their lives.
Yeah.
So I don't think that kind of DNA is there in Pakistan. No, I don't think. No. They will never come out and face bullets.
Okay. Right. Okay. Karthik Devendran. Sir, how can we attack narco dollars of Pakistan? Are we taking any steps?
Narco dollars of Pakistan? I mean, I don't think there is any bank where all these drug sales are going to get deposited. This is all shadow, that black economy. It's all the money which is with the underworld and this ruling elite and all that. So it's a kind of a unknown economy. And when something is so unknown, so faceless How do you destroy it? Can't do that. So, and there are no, that money is not moving with some international monetary regulations and other kind of things. So, money you can kill only through the regulatory methods. If that money is not in circulation like this, how do you kill it? And this is not the problem here, it is a problem world over. So, this is a shadow, dark money and in dark spaces, changing hand in dark economy. So, if everything is dark, no tool is good enough to destroy that.
See, I just like to add is to what General VP Singh has said. It is this dark economy which is still sustaining Pakistan. अगर ये डार्क इकोनॉमी आप निकाल दो तो ये डाउन हो जाएगा, कंप्लीट पाकिस्तान बैठ जाएगा.
Yeah, the question is how do you remove that?
Remove that. मैं आपको ये हिस्टोरिक है और ये जैसे जनरल वीपी सिंह ने बताया ये आप निकाल नहीं सकते. आई विल टेक आवर माइंड बैक. जब हम दोनों स्टाफ कॉलेज कर रहे थे, ये प्रेजेंट एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर सुब्रमण्यम के सुब्रमण्यम वो आए थे स्टाफ कॉलेज और उन्होंने समझाया हमें नार्को इकोनॉमी ऑफ पाकिस्तान कैसे होता है और हाउ पाकिस्तान इकोनॉमी एवरी ईयर इज ग्रोइंग बाय 5 to 6% बिकॉज ऑफ द नार्को इकोनॉमी. तब से अभी तक ये नार्को इकोनॉमी गया नहीं. ओके, ये नार्को इकोनॉमी शुरू कहाँ से होता है? ये शुरू होता है अफगानिस्तान में. अफगानिस्तान में जो पॉपी का कल्टीवेशन की वजह से ये नार्को इकोनॉमी शुरू होता है. और ये मैं अभी थोड़ा आपको वापस ले चलूंगा वो तालिबान 1.0 और मुजाहिदीन वो इस टाइम में उन दिनों में नार्को इकोनॉमी वाज सस्टेनिंग तालिबान 1.0 व्हेन इट वाज रूलिंग अफगानिस्तान. राइट नाउ व्हेन 9/11 हैपेंड द अमेरिकन्स केम, टुक ओवर अफगानिस्तान, ड्रोव अवे द तालिबान और उन्होंने वो करजाई को गद्दी पे बिठा दिया और रूल करना शुरू किया. वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट थिंग्स जो अमेरिकन्स ने किया पहले 2-3 साल में, उन्होंने जो पॉपी इकोनॉमी और नार्को इकोनॉमी को पूरा नष्ट कर दिया. जब उन्होंने पॉपी इकोनॉमी और नार्को इकोनॉमी को पूरा नष्ट कर दिया, पॉपी कल्टीवेशन बैन कर दिया इन्होंने, तो क्या हुआ? वहां भुखमरी हुआ, पॉवर्टी, गुर्बत and famine started happening and the people could not be sustained. There was no alternate mode of sustainment, right? So as a result, the Obama administration allowed the narco economy to reflourish, allowed poppy cultivation to come back. ये ताजुब की बात है, but this is on record. अगर आप नेट में जाके पढ़ोगे तो ये सब है. और गजब की बात ये है कि when the poppy cultivation came back and the narco economy started coming back, ये डबल हो गया. जो पहले मान लो $20 बिलियन था, अभी $40 बिलियन हो गया. तो ये नार्को इकोनॉमी बढ़ गया. इसीलिए आप देख रहे हो कि ये असर हमारे ऊपर भी हो रहा है और इसीलिए the drug menace in Punjab is a low cost war which is going on between Pakistan and India. ठीक है ना? और लॉन्ग टर्म इफेक्ट है इसके. तो नार्को इकोनॉमी को आप इतना आसानी से मिटा नहीं सकते हो, बिकॉज बहुत इश्यूज इन्वॉल्व है, राइट? और अगर आप इस नार्को बिजनेस को थोड़ा और पढ़ेंगे तो इसके अलावा वो एक गोल्डन ट्रायंगल है. वो गोल्डन ट्रायंगल जो है ना, वो म्यांमार, कंबोडिया, लाओस, वो ट्रायंगल है, वो भी हमें तंग कर रहा है और वो भी नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट्स में हमें बहुत तंग कर रहा है. नार्को इकोनॉमी, ड्रग स्मगलिंग वहां भी ज्यादा होता है. The life problem, we have to have different social methods to handle it. इसके अगेंस्ट कोई डायरेक्ट इकोनॉमिक मेथड नहीं है क्योंकि ये सब डार्क इकोनॉमी में जाता है जो जनरल वीपी सिंह ने बताया.
And one more point if I may add, sir.
Yeah, please.
ये जो तालिबान आपने जो जिक्र किया था, actually they came down very heavily on this poppy cultivation and all that. But imagine if you want to, then are you prepared to support the Taliban?
You can't.
And let them do what kind of measures they were taking to eliminate all this drug business. Obviously, we are not prepared to support Taliban for so many other reasons. So when you are not, then how will Taliban survive? Then all this kind of... So it's a very vicious cycle. Not so easy to eliminate.
Right. Okay. This is a question. Sir, read that China is trying to put up some weapons defense mechanism along the LOC in Pakistan. Why would China do this?
Because they are not a friendly country. I told you, one of the front. Are they friendly country? Answer is no. They are, as our foreign minister has mentioned, our relations with China is not normal. So when the relation between two countries are not normal, what do you expect at LOC? Not the flowers, but guns only. So that's what is
Okay.
there.
Yeah, okay. Right. Uh, Last but one question. Isn't it the right time to recapture POK using covert intelligent ops and using conventional military option if necessary?
No, see, what happens is, yeah, this is, so many times it has been said the recapture POK, recapture POK, recapture POK. It's a very, very, what should I say, when you talk about the military option, it's a super mega military option. And when you are trying to undertake this military option against a nuclear armed state, then you are going into a very different zone. So, and as I said, it's not the option that we are talking about. Just about, I think, a day back, our defense minister has gone on record to say that what is his understanding of why POK should come back to India. He said the people will get so fed up living under miserable Pakistan that they themselves
Still
want to
come here,
get away from there and join India. This is how POK will come back to us.
come back.
So the answer for POK recapture is be a prosperous country yourself, support the India story, and the people across the fence will see, like the East Germany saw on what is happening in West, and they all climb down this way.
Okay.
That is the
Right.
concept.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Right. Respected sirs, do you think that a national security strategy like that of USA is the need of the hour for our country? Without discussion, I'll say yes, yes, and yes, and we'll leave it at that. Right? There's a crying need for a country which is, going to be one of the great powers of this earth.
So let me agree to disagree with General Shankar. You see, my understanding of our national security concept or thing is, India by nature, it's our DNA. We thrive in ambivalent environment. We are not, that everything should be bulleted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do the ABCD. Why? Because my understanding of our way of thinking is that when you keep things nebulous, it allows space for more ideas to come in. If you put down those ideas on the paper, then you are literally confining your mind and thoughts and everything else. You're also letting the enemy or your adversaries to read your mind. Acha, this is what you want to do. The second part is that when you put down your things in writing, you also need to create resources to back up your written part. When America does that, militarily, national security strategy, if you do this, I will do that, then they have that to do that. So it is also related to the resources. And so my understanding is 3-pointer, nebulous. That is not to say you remain vague. There's a difference between being vague and nebulous. Nebulous is a good concept because it allows more options to get generated. Second, that perhaps we must put some kind of when you say that, markers as part of our national strategy rather than writing down 2-page note on that. And the last point is we must also take into consideration our CNP, national power, and the resources that we have to back up that national strategy. If you have all three things, go ahead and publish your national strategy.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in having a voluminous national security strategy. As far as you have an outline as to what you want to do and how you want to go and achieve it, whether it's in point form or page form or verbal, with a lot of English and prose.
So let me guess just 3-pointer national strategy. We can talk about it. That our national strategy against China is we want to maintain cordial relation, good economic relation. However, our boundary dispute must be resolved in a ABCD.
Okay.
We will not accept any aggression or any threat to our national sovereignty. That's the second pointer. Likewise, we can always put down these thoughts.
We can do that. Right. So the last question I'll take. All right. It says, sir, assuming weak Pakistan or a bifurcated Pakistan is good for us. What is the best case scenario for us, and are we doing anything proactively or taking advantage of some developments?
I think we have answered this question in the during the
But still,
conversation.
he
Yeah,
feels.
so my understanding is, and General Shankar may give his understanding. My understanding is that we are not interested in either keeping the Pakistan unite or divided or broken. We are only interested in Pakistan sort out their own mess. And if Pakistan breaks for their reasons, we will review the situation. But we are not going to lose our sleep in order to go around breaking Pakistan. It's not required.
Yeah, I think generally we've covered कि पाकिस्तान का क्या होगा, किस तरीके से ये उभर के आएगा. एटलीस्ट मेरे ख्याल में माय व्यू इज दैट अगले 2-3 साल पाकिस्तान विल कंटिन्यू इन दिस स्टेट और प्लस माइनस अ लिटिल, राइट. इसे उभर के आने का बड़ा कम चांसेस है. और मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग विच टेक अवे जो आज हमने सीखा है कि we need to have a game plan for the next 2 to 3 years to handle this situation. And ये जो game plan important है to handle Pakistan and keep it at that level, ताकि our growth is unhindered. And our growth is unhindered and our concentration is on China, which is going to be our major problem. And our concentration is on the Indian Ocean region, which is going to be our major place where we need more effort, right? But we have to continue to keep our eyes on Pakistan. ये कभी नहीं, ये नहीं हो सकता कि हम पाकिस्तान को नजरअंदाज कर दें, राइट. ये निकला है आज का पूरा बातों का, राइट. So your final comments, VP, and then we'll close it.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I think we have had a very good discussion. And my take on Pakistan is that we wish Pakistan well, in the sense that let them sort out their problems, because disturbed neighbor is not a good news for anyone. And therefore, but that does not mean that we want a very strong and hostile Pakistan. If it is a very strong Pakistan and is still hostile, it's a bad news for us. So we just want Pakistan to remain where they are and continue managing their own affairs, and we continue with our story.
Yeah. The best Pakistan, mere hisab se, is an inward-looking Pakistan.
Absolutely.
And that's what I pray for. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I think we've had some great participation, a lot of questions, a lot of comments. I have not been able to take all questions because we are running out of time. Thanks a lot, all of you who attended, and thanks a lot to General VP Singh for having attended, come and given his mind out on Pakistan. Because at no point of time can we ever ignore Pakistan. That's the bottom line, right?
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, and Jai Hind to all of you, and good night. Thank you.
Jai Hind.